Hello students, welcome back to my channel again. Today we are going to learn class 12's probability chapters. These 4 topics. Those topics are partition of a sample space, theorem of total probability, Bayes theorem and its applications. Now, this is the 8th session of the chapter probability. Now, if you want to check the previous sessions, then the links of those previous sessions will be there in the description box. So, you can go to the description box and check those previous videos. So, without wasting any time, let's start with today's video. Today, I will be starting with partition of a sample space. So this is the first topic, partition. What does it mean by partition? A partition will have some events. Suppose E1, E2, En. In a sample space is n number of events will represent a partition for a sample space S if number 1 EI intersection EJ equals to phi for all I comma j equals to 1 to n. Number 2 U1 union E2 union union En will be S. Number 3 P of EI always will be greater than 0 for all I equals to 1 to n. So from these 3 mathematical conditions we can state the definition of a partition like some events E1, E2, En will represent a partition if they are mutually exclusive events, they are exhaustive events, and they have non-zero probability. Our next topic is theorem of total probability. Now, what is its statement? Its statement is let E1, E2, En be a partition of the sample space S. Now, partition always will be written like with the events inside second bracket. So, sample space is let A be any event associated with S. A is any event of sample space, the same sample space S. Then P of A, probability of any event is equals to summation I equals to 1 to n P of A on EI into P of EI. So this we have to prove. For this proof I have already drawn this figure, so check it out once please. Look, the whole box, that is the sample space, is E1, E2, E3, E5, E4, E6, all these 6 events are mutually exclusive, that means they don't have any common part, and they together will give us S. That means E1, E2, E3, E4, E5, E6, these all will represent a partition of S, and obviously they will have non-zero probability. Now we have taken A, any event which is associated in S, so that we have taken A in such a way that A intersects each and every event in this figure. So now we will be starting its proof. Look, one thing, as E1, E2, E3 or like E1, E2 ... En be a partition. Partition means S will be E1, E2 ... up to En. And EI intersection EJ for any I for any J will be phi. These are actually the given conditions as they are partition. Now for any event A, we can write one thing, that A equals to A intersection S. That means A intersection S, just we have written U1 union E2 union En. So by De Morgan's law, we can write A intersection E1 union A intersection E2 union ... union A intersection En. Now as U1, E2 ... up to En, they all are actually mutually exclusive events. That means they don't have any common elements. So this one and this one, everything will be mutually exclusive. So we have to write that as EI intersection EJ equals to phi. That means A intersection EI intersection A intersection EJ also will be phi. Okay. Now from this we are continuing the calculation. A, so we are taking probability of both sides. Now as mutually exclusive events, so they are union. So probabilities will be just added, nothing else. E2 plus ... plus P of A intersection En. Up to this I think okay. Now look at this, how we are writing it. We know from the previous session multiplication theorem of probability. So that tells that P of A intersection E1 will be P of A on E1 into P of E1. So this one will be P of A on E2 into P of E2 plus ... plus P of A on En P of En. Now from this we can write P of A equals to, look, E1, E2 up to En, so we can just sum it up. I equals to 1 to N P of A on EI into P of EI. So we have proved whatever we needed to. This was our theorem of total probability. So we have proved it. This is very simple. Only you need to understand mutually exclusive events means what? Mutually exclusive events probabilities formula and De Morgan's law. Bas, and you will get the final statement. Our next topic is Bayes' theorem. Now Bayes' theorem is actually based on theorem of total probability and partition of a sample space S. Now, normally the question comes like state and prove Bayes theorem. If this type of question comes, state and prove Bayes theorem, then statement of Bayes theorem must be written properly, minutely. Because when state and prove any theorem, this type of question comes, then you need to write that particular theorem's statement properly as it is already there in the book. So this is the statement, exact statement of Bayes theorem. Now let me tell you its simpler version. That is, you have a partition with E1, E2 up to En events. Partition means non-zero probability, partition means pairwise disjoint, partition means union, ultimate union will be S. So everything together covered in one statement, and A is any event of non-zero probability like we have already done in theorem of total probability just before 2 minutes. Then P of EI on A equals to P of EI, P of A on EI divided by summation this part. Now we will prove Bayes theorem. We know from conditional probability that P of EI on A will be P of A intersection EI divided by P of A. Now it is already told in the statement that P of A not equals to 0 because A having non-zero probability. P of A intersection EI, this is the formula from conditional probability. Now from multiplication theorem of probability we can write P of EI into P of A on EI divided by P of A in total probability, theorem of total probability, just we have completed P of A's value as summation. As I we have already used, that's why we are using here J. J equals to 1 to N P of EJ into P of A on EJ, and this is the Bayes theorem, nothing else. So Bayes theorem proves is very simple, but the problem is if the question comes like state and prove Bayes theorem, suppose 2 marks question, then this is enough. You write down the statement and this proof, enough. But you have to write down here from conditional probability, here you have to write down from multiplication theorem of probability, here you have to write down from theorem of total probability. Every logic must be written, okay? And here also you have to write down I equals to 1, 2 dot 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 up to N, everything possible needed here. Now suppose the question comes for 4 marks or 6 marks, then you must prove theorem of total probability first and then statement and proof of Bayes theorem. Okay. Now for Bayes theorem there are some particular terminologies used like E1, E2 dot 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 up to En. They are called as hypothesis, HYPOTHESES. P of EI, this is called priori probability of the hypothesis EI. priori probability, Priori, priori probability. P of EI on A is called posteriori probability of the event EI. So these are three terminologies used for Bayes theorem. Now Bayes theorem is actually in other ways called as the probability formula for probability of causes. Okay, because we are, look, E1, E2, E3, these all are the given events. A, we have taken a particular event is occurred. Now A is occurred depending on all other events E1, E2, E3 up to En. But in Bayes theorem we are finding not P of A on EI, rather we are finding P of EI on A. So EI is actually the cause of the event A. E1, E2, En, these are the causes of event A and we are finding it. That's why Bayes theorem is called the formula for probability of causes. Now this will be very clear when we will be doing some of the examples. But if we are going to do the examples in this session, then the session will be very lengthy. For that reason, today here only I am just stopping my session. In the next session, we will be discussing applications on Bayes theorem. I hope you all have understood, and in the next session you will be able to apply Bayes theorem in practical problems. So thank you everybody.